Hello, and welcome to How to Pop Up on a Surfboard by Eagen. Popping up on a surfboard is not very hard, but it requires lots of patience and practice. However, you have to start somewhere, and that is the purpose of this video, to show you where to start. Now, before we get any further, let me show you what a pop-up looks like. Even if you don't have a surfboard, you can still learn how to pop up. The first step to doing this is making an oval shape on the ground with a line going through the center. If you're feeling fancy, you can make it look vaguely like a surfboard, which I did myself. Alright, so here's what a pop-up looks like. Notice you lay down, then you start paddling, and then you pop up. So when you finish, you should note that your head should be facing towards what is the beach, and your arms should be spread out. So now we're going to take a closer look at the actual pop-up. To begin the pop-up, you're going to need to be laying down on the surfboard with your arms spread out and paddling. Once you've paddled for a little bit, you're going to bring your hands into your chest and do a normal push-up. As you raise your body, you need to swing your feet forward until they're below your chest. Once they're there, then you can stand up and move your feet so that they're on the line. If your feet are not on the line, then your weight will be more to one side of the board than the other, and this will cause you to fall over. Like I said before, you're going to need to practice the pop-up lots and lots until you get good at it. So here are a couple of clips of me doing the pop-up over and over again, which is what you should do if you want to get better. Now, there's always the chance that you'll have a flaw in your pop-up that you have to fix midway. In this particular clip, my feet ended up being neither of them on the line. So you'll notice the pop-up starts good, but as I swing my feet forward, both of them are behind the line. To fix this, you just have to slowly shuffle your feet forward until they're on the line. So you may have noticed that throughout the video, I've been mentioning balancing a lot, and that is because balancing is very important to surfing. Even if you're great at popping up, if you don't know how to balance very well, you will likely fall over. So if you have some cash at hand, you can buy yourself a balance board, but they're often quite expensive. So here I'm going to show you how to make a cheaper one from scratch. So to make a balance board, you're going to need some materials. The first of those being an anti-fatigue floor mat. Anti-fatigue floor mats are basically just cushiony floor mats, and mine has actually been the background for the entire video. The other thing you're going to need is a skateboard without wheels, or the deck of a skateboard. The next thing you're going to need is a piece of PVC pipe. The PVC pipe should be roughly 6.5 inches long, and it should have about a 4-inch diameter. Alright, so now that we got that, the next thing you're going to need is a box cutter. Once you've got that, then you're going to need a Sharpie. Just a Sharpie. And then you're going to need some duct tape. Alright, so now that you've got all of your materials, the next thing you're going to need to do is go to the edge of the mat. Once you've gone there, then you're going to need to take the PVC pipe and line it up with the edge. It should be right on the edge of the mat. Once you have it lined up, you should take a Sharpie and mark where the edge is. If the cut is uneven, then just find the longest area and mark it there. The next thing you're going to need to do is take your box cutter and cut along where the mark is. You should cut along the entire length of the mat. Alright, so once you've cut it, you should end up with something like this. Just a long strip of the floor mat that is the width of your PVC pipe. Now, we're going to flip it over so that the bottom is facing up. Once you have it like that, you're going to take the PVC pipe and put it on the edge. Then you're going to roll it just a little bit so that the end is facing upwards. Then you're going to take some duct tape and tape it down. The purpose of the tape is just to make sure that it doesn't come undone while you're rolling it. So now you're going to roll it as tightly as you can until you've gotten to the very end. Then you're going to flip it over, like so, and take some tape and tape it down. So I finished mine, and now you'll notice that it's nice and tightly rolled. Now you may notice that there's an area where both of the ends overlap and it's thicker than the rest. So to fix this, we're just going to need to cut off this little section of the mat with our knife. Alright, so I cut mine off, and now you'll notice that the ends match up pretty nicely, so that no area is significantly thicker. Now you're going to just take some duct tape and tape it down like before. So you may notice that where the mat ends, there's a significant bump. To fix this, we're just going to put duct tape over it. So I finished mine, and you'll notice now that it's much smoother. However, there's still more. Now we're going to take our duct tape and wrap the entire thing around multiple times. What this will do is add more rigidity to it so that it doesn't come undone. So I finished taping mine, and as you'll notice, there's some bumps, which is perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be wrapped. And as you'll notice, it now is a lot more rigid than it was before. However, there's still some more we have to do. So you'll notice there's still a bump right here where the mat ends. To fix this, we're just going to put lots and lots of duct tape on it until it smooths out. So I finished taping mine, and now you'll see that the bump is much less noticeable. It's still there, but it's much less than it was in the beginning. Now there's still some more we have to do. So as we were taping it, you may have noticed that the PVC pipe in the mat became uneven. To prevent this from further happening, all we're going to do is take duct tape and wrap it around the edge. This will prevent it from sliding anymore and keep it more intact. Okay, so I finished taping mine up, and just for sake of convenience, I put one of the strips over where the bump was so it's even less noticeable. But as you'll notice, it goes through the pipe and comes out the other side as one piece of duct tape. This prevents it from sliding at all whatsoever. Alright, so now you're ready to use it. To use it, you're going to need to place the roll on the ground with the skateboard deck on top. One end of the skateboard should be touching the ground. You're going to place your first foot on the end that's touching the ground, and then place the other foot on the end that's in the air. Then you're going to push down on the higher foot and release weight on the lower foot. When you do this, it should lift the lower foot into the air. Then you need to try and balance, and which means keeping both feet in the air. However, you should be careful because the roll may pop out from under, like that. Just like the pop-up, this requires lots of practice. So here are a couple clips of me desperately trying to balance on the board. So you may have noticed that while I was using it, right here in the mat, it was starting to squish and make a gap. See right here, it's making a little gap. So to fix this, you're just going to need to do the same thing with the duct tape here in all the places that need help. And remember, there's no such thing as too much duct tape, so do it as much as you need. Alright, so this has been How to Pop Up on a Surfboard by Eagen. And lastly, thanks for watching.